Hey, guys. Gavin's late.
Crazy.
Not yet. He has
It's 11.
seconds.
He's got 30 seconds.
What? My thing says 11.
Yeah, but it's
yeah,
within
he's
11.
within the minute.
Yeah, didn't we have a whole run of this on the show?
Yeah, I think so.
Of like,
Well, hold on.
he's got 20 seconds.
God, I didn't get a chance to test my recording. I hope it's going well. I don't want to stop it now.
Oh, it's
I don't know if I like new Geoff.
What
I'm not
does that
sure
mean?
if I like it. I'm still
10 seconds.
I think I will like it, but I'm adjusting.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what that means.
3.
I'm the
I
same
sound
old Geoff.
completely
He's
different.
here. It's on time.
Damn it.
Oh man, you really you were cutting it close.
I gotta turn you up now. And this is
Nothing
new
to
Geoff
say
is
for
the whole
yourself.
thing.
You have to turn me up. I thought I'm not loud enough.
I turned you down because you're too loud for me, and now I'm turning you.
Hello?
It's hey, Gavin. You okay? It's coming home today, man.
What's so funny?
You.
You.
Hello and welcome to another episode of
Oh
the
my
Regulation Podcast. My name is Jeff Ramsey. With me, as always, Andrew Penton, Gavin Free, Nick Schwartz, Eric Bador. Episode 10. Gavin, you're hilarious.
Discord's a piece of shit.
Well,
Well, yeah.
Right, I walk away from my computer, right? I walk away. Everything's just left as it was. Discord is minimized, right? And then when I click it on the taskbar, it won't it won't get big again. Like, what's all that about?
Maybe it's thinking about Cecil Fielder or King Kong Bundy. That's what did it for me in high school.
You and frickin' King Kong Bundy.
You try to maintain an erection thinking about him.
How's it going, everyone?
I'm good.
Nick said whiskey Discord.
Oh man.
Whiskey Discord is great.
What do you think of new Geoff, Gavin? Because I'm thrown by it.
Yeah, what do you think of new Geoff, Gavin?
What's new about him?
He sounds completely different. What are you talking about?
All right, say something, Jeff.
Hey, what's up? It's your old pal Geoff sounding completely different according to Andrew and Eric.
He sounds like he's an AM radio host.
Nah, he sounds fine.
Thanks, man.
Nah, it's not that he sounds bad. I think it is, once again, this is like the widescreen of your voice where I'm just not used to it.
Full spectrum voice.
You
Yeah,
getting
it's
full
yeah.
spectrum, Geoff? Oh man, you're hearing all the notes that other people can't. Yeah. Well, I replaced my Scarlett that we initially that I recorded the first 215 episodes of this thing with a Rode Podcaster that immediately broke, and I bought a second one, but I got the first one fixed, and now I have two Rode Podcasters, one for my PC and one for my Mac.
Wow.
I think you sound too good, I think is the problem. Like this, it feels like you're an actual host.
Would it help if I like I throw you as I could? Hey, wait, guys, want? Day.
There's old Jeff back.
There
Is
we
that
go.
better?
That's yeah. I feel like I'm part of not a real production now. Thank you. I'm back to feeling good.
Andrew,
Gavin,
during our we had a little week off, we had a little break. And you said last time that you were gonna
not really a break.
Okay.
It worked a lot.
Yeah, we did a lot of record. I just want to be clear. It's not like we took a break for a week.
I took a break. Y'all worked your asses off.
Yeah, we kept working, but there was a break from this podcast during
Yes.
which, in between, you said you were going to work on your desk. How'd you get on?
Wow, you really immediately throwing at me, expecting me to have not done a thing, didn't you? You little sneaky Brit over there, trying
That's
to
exactly
have a
what I
lot
was doing.
of time to try to make fun of me. I'm using a new setup too, Gavin. I'm using a new setup as well because I remembered my homework. I did my job. Let me. I'm gonna be honest. It's a little precarious.
Uh-oh.
There might need to be some adjustments done. I went with a Geoff approach.
Hell yeah!
With the setup, I would say, let me just open up this app on my phone so I took a little photo before we went live.
I bet it is a little photo too.
Yeah, it is. It's a half Bundy, I would say. Let me go to open this. So I bought some clamps in the style that Geoff was suggesting. And I clamped down a piece of wood onto my desk. And then I put my mic clamp on that.
Oh my God, so complicated.
So I didn't have to nail the desk. I didn't need a hammer. I bought some clamp, but I bought like arts and crafts wood off of Amazon. That's the so that's like 10 little pieces of wood and one thing of, so it's not stable. It's really bent upwards. It's a curve.
You've crushed a bunch of like thin chipboard together and you've put your mic on top of the barcode part.
Well, I mean, I didn't, yeah. No free ads. Didn't want them to scan it and buy it themselves. But that's my setup. I now can get rid of my table mic stand. And maybe look into buying a thicker, more singular piece of wood. But outside of that, worked pretty good. I'd say it's a pretty good solution to the problem.
I am impressed, and I'm glad it worked.
I didn't have to nail anything. I didn't have to put a hole in my desk. I still don't have a drill. I don't need a drill, I don't think.
I can't believe you don't want to drill for the rest of your life.
I just don't. That's a bad combination. Me and a drill.
You know what they say, Gavin? More drills, more problems.
That is what they say. I think there is a permanence to a hole that I do not need in my life.
You don't want any holes permanent?
No, because I would make a lot of unnecessary holes, I think, or I would do poor holes, and then I would have to fix the hole. So I just am better not being in a position to generate holes.
Okay.
I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but when I moved into my old house, the one that I no longer own, I hung a TV in my bedroom, not even thinking, just put up a flat screen TV. I resisted having a TV in the bedroom. Remember, I had the ceiling TV for a long time, but eventually I decided I'd be a real big boy, and I put a wall mount on my TV and hung it. And as I hung it and I drilled everything in, I realized on the other side is my shower, and I missed my shower pipe by less than an inch.
Oh my God.
Less than an inch. And that's why drills like if you can go your whole life without a drill, Andrew, I recommend it.
I was hanging a towel rail in my bathroom, and when I was done, I couldn't close the bathroom door, and it was one of those sliding pocket doors. And I'd attached the towel rail to the closed door inside the wall.
Oh man.
So now,
That's great.
so even though I replaced the screws with shorter ones, there are still 2 holes in my pocket door.
Did you have like a solid 10 seconds of feeling like a big man fixing the house, doing your own install? And then, there must have been so much pride in that moment between finishing and then going to close the door on the way out.
That was probably like a 20-minute period where I felt all big and strong and badly until I couldn't pull the door out of the wall.
When the door didn't pull, how long did it actually take for you to connect the dots, and how long did it feel like in your head?
Oh, I connected the dots instantly when I tugged on the door from the little handle piece, and it just bounced out of my hands. I just went, oh.
Do you think that was maybe one of the worst moments of your life in terms of it just feeling good about yourself?
Bottom 20 for sure.
Because I can't imagine the realization setting in on what I had done in that moment.
I think for me, my solution to that problem wouldn't be reapplying it. It would be figuring out a way to make it slide. So your towel rack would just go in and out with the door.
Like cutting a channel so that every time I close that would actually work better, because those freaking
doing like a slide.
Those fiddly freaking little sliding pocket doors are a pain in the ass. If the entire door was run by me sliding my towel rail, it would be much easier to use.
I mean, I was imagining the face of someone who doesn't expect it walking into that bathroom, closing the door behind them, and seeing the towel rack just slide over.
Like the towels are just coming at you as you shut the door.
Oh, man.
Hey, Andrew, earlier you said something about it feeling like not a real production. Speaking of not a real production, can I tell you guys about a TV show I watched the other night?
Of course.
Hulu has been begging me to watch the show. What is it? The Quiz with Balls. Every time I load up Hulu, there's the Quiz with Balls. They're ramming it down my face. It's a major network show. It's like ABC, NBC, CBS. I don't know. And it's basically what you think it is exactly what it is. It's like two families compete in trivia, and then one family goes up and they stand in a slot over a swimming pool, and then behind them on a ramp is a giant ball, and they answer a question, and the one who gets it the most wrong gets shot into the water. Except this image isn't even doing it justice. The episode I watched, they had a family all in denim jeans with big chunky tennis shoes. And then all they do is get an answer wrong, and they just drop them in water, and then they have to swim all the way across this pool, and then a guy in a security guard just gives them a towel, and then they have to go sit on a vinyl sofa, which must, if you're there, really stink after a while, and just be like 1,000 wet farting sounds because they're just sliding all over vinyl. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my entire life, and I can't fucking believe it got made. Like, I can't. Can you, like, what? They pitched it, and somebody said, "Yeah, that's a good pitch."
Yeah, and then they built a giant freaking swimming pool set that probably cost millions of dollars.
Cost millions of dollars. So somebody could say, name 5 cities in Ohio, and then one person gets one wrong, and then they just throw them in the water and make them swim in full clothes. Heavy-ass denim.
America has this real fascination with feeling like they need to make trivia more exciting. What was the Ellen DeGeneres show where, like, if you got it wrong, you got ripped into the sky? Like,
dude, they dropped you like 20 feet sometimes. That was insane. It was the game of games or something.
I have no idea what that's called, but there is a history of something stupid happening to you if you get it wrong.
Yeah, I feel like I could make a much cheaper show though. I could make the quiz with fists, and everyone's just stood facing a hole in a wall, and a freaking boxing glove just rocks them if they get it wrong.
Oh,
or even just the quiz with push. And there's just 5 people standing behind you. One of them pushes you. It's like, it's just such a bad, lame premise. They're like, what's funny about Wipeout? People getting hit. Okay. What's funny about quiz shows? Nothing. Well, slam it together. Everybody can swim, right? It was so fucking, just so bad. And I just can't believe, it's on Fox. I'm sorry. It must cost,
it feels like
you know how many millions of dollars they invest in an episode of the quiz with balls? So that Jay Farrow can do like a fucking Wesley Snipes impression 3 times or whatever because he's the host. Like, Jesus Christ.
I had the trailer rammed down my throat on autoplay so many times. I just put an episode on and I fast forwarded until I could see someone get hit with a ball. It was like 13 minutes in before someone got balled.
It's a bad ball ratio.
There's only like 8 questions in the whole show.
I think what they need to do, let me try to punch up this show a little bit. You stand at the top, and if you get it wrong, the boulder falls and you have to outrun the boulder. And each lane gets progressively more steep. And if you get hit by the boulder, you're dead, and you're never seen again on the show. You're just gone. That's a good idea. If you get Indiana Jones it, I like that. But as it stands right now, it is the lamest fucking premise for television. And you're just looking at it and you're thinking, like, there's a studio executive somewhere who makes over $1 million a year. And his job is just to say yes to that. Or her. Their job is just to say yes to that. And go, all right, that's a hit.
Maybe if you were covered head to toe in gasoline and the ball was on fire, and you would just, as you were falling, become on fire before being extinguished, that's a show I would watch.
Yeah.
What if somebody else has to run for you, like someone in your family? Like, if you get it wrong, it then triggers for your family to have to outrun the ball of fire. Even more stakes. It's not even just you.
I like that idea, that the whole like military idea of we don't punish you, we punish the people around you. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then once one of your family members gets knocked in, you get railed with soap in a sock.
Yeah, and then at about 2 a.m., you get a blanket party, and it's not fun.
What was it Remote Control? Was that the MTV Colin Quinn old trivia? Yeah, that had a great exit if you got it wrong from trivia thing. That might be my favorite.
I don't remember.
They all sat in like lazy boys, and if they got it wrong, the wall ate them. Like the chairs went up and the wall absorbed them.
Yeah, they did that on that reality show Villain.
Awesome.
The one hosted by not Daniel Tosh, but the other Daniel Tosh. What's his name?
McHale?
No, the other Daniel Tosh. Anthony Jeselnik.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never watched the villains one. I was really excited about that premise.
It wasn't very good. I only watched like 2 episodes and it was pretty
Oh,
bad.
that's too bad. There's some great clips from it, but maybe that's a clip show.
I think they're doing a 2nd season too, so it might be worth going back and finishing. I don't know. Hey, Gav, you know how like you used to, when you would come to America, you would talk about how the shits in America were so much worse than the shits in England, and it was like instant. Like as soon as you got into America, you just started, your shits just became like 10 times worse.
So funny you mention that because I've had a morning.
Oh.
You got the England shits? You got the coming home shits?
Stress shits right now,
I
yeah.
just had some bad Italian food last night, and
Ooh, where'd you eat?
Yeah, where?
I don't know. I didn't go out. It was order in, and I didn't order it.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your morning. I hope it improves for you. I would take some Pepto-Bismol if I were you. I realized this last week in Michigan that Michigan is my America.
It makes you shit.
Oh my God, dude. The diarrhea, the torment I put Emily's parents' toilet through. I felt bad, man. I was doing like full scrubs every time I was like doing a full like bathroom clean down because these are my in-laws. But I was having I was having like you stole a bunch of marked bills in a bag from the bank.
no.
And you finally get to your safe house and you open it up and you get hit with the pink spray.
The dye pack.
Yeah, that was me 4 times a day for the 8 days I was there. And I realized
Christ.
there's nothing that makes an airplane flight longer. Maybe shitting your pants 7 times like the time you did it. But then just trying not to shit your pants, but also being like, I can't go on the plane because there's not enough toilet paper and distance from other people to make this like survivable. So just like trying to hold in a diarrhea for 2.5 hours on a plane is brutal. And I was so out of sorts that when I got up, I had like Emily's bag behind me and my bag in front of me, and she was moving on, and everybody's like cramming to get out of there. And like Emily was like, "Oh, can you grab my purse?" And I like spun around to grab her purse, and somehow I flipped myself around, got both of my arms caught behind myself, and I fell into a row of chairs face first. Landed on my, like on the middle row, the crossbar, like the arm support, landed chest onto that with my head over it. And because my hand was like trapped under me and behind me, I couldn't push myself off, and my legs were wedged in between the suitcases. And I just kind of had to lay there for like 3 seconds to try to figure out how to get out of there while the people around me did that thing where they started laughing and then they stopped laughing because it suddenly wasn't funny because they didn't know if I was hurt or if they needed to help me or not. And I was clearly holding people back. And the whole time just laying there trying to figure out how to get out of there and hold my diarrhea in.
So you were like a turtle on its back, trying not to shit.
I was like a turtle on its back trying not to shit, but I was a Geoff on my face trying not to shit. And Emily took off. Like, she didn't see it. So she just like, I heard a commotion. And by the time I caught up with her with like her, like 80 bags and like holding my butthole together, it was, it was rough.
But that row was empty, right?
Yeah, thank God, dude, because I was going into it regardless. It's hard to push yourself off when you're trapped under your arms and your chest is like hanging over a ledge.
Yeah, and
your
priority
legs are
one
trapped.
is still not shitting.
And priority one is not shitting.
My non-shitting flight from LA to Austin took what felt like 9 hours, even though it was
man.
probably a 3-hour flight.
Just locked in to not shitting. It's all you're thinking about.
Just, physically sat on my hands, holding my anus closed, and
man.
and then losing grip on it when I fell asleep.
I didn't use headphones because it was too much. Like, it was just too much.
Too much of a distraction away from your
I
ass.
just read it on my phone because like the noise was too much for focusing. I just had to like,
man.
that was like that intense. Anyway, so that was my week. Sounds like y'all had a lot of fun playing video games.
We played a lot of video games. I've been watching soccer. I've become a little bit of a soccer fan.
I feel like everyone's getting into it. I saw Canada play last night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was. They scored a goal in this tournament. So they were in Copa America, and they scored a goal for the first time. That was very exciting. They made it to the semifinals, which is very exciting. Played against Argentina. It looked really good for about 5 minutes, and then it never looked good again. That was it. But as as somebody who didn't like draws in soccer, following a team that has low expectations, the possibility of a tie is so exciting because it's just like we just got to prevent a goal. It's starting in a position where we could technically kind of win, and it's great.
Yeah. And if you force a tie all the way to penalties, that's well exciting. Anyone could win that.
Exactly. Yeah, it feels like penalties is like a complete coin flip. So even when there's not penalties, just the ability of like, okay, we just have to do nothing. As long as nobody does anything, we can still have a favorable result. And I'm a fan. It's been a lot of fun to watch. I did, however, didn't know that Copa America and the Euro are two different things. I learned
Two
that.
different names didn't give that.
I thought maybe it was like a sub name, like it was the Euro Copa America because it was in like like it was in somewhere else. If that makes any sense. Because I've been waiting for the possibility of England and Canada to go up against each other. That's why I was passively watching before this point. I was like, England keeps winning, Canada keeps winning. This is going to be great. They're eventually going to get matched up. This is the way it's going.
What
And
you're
then,
thinking of is the World Cup.
Yeah, that's what I thought both of those were. I thought I was watching the World Cup and we're all playing for the World Cup.
That's in 2 years.
Okay.
But I mean, if Canada qualify and England qualify, it could happen.
But I've been following it, and then Canada won to go to the semifinal, and they're matched up against Argentina. And I was like, what the fuck? Where is England? And so I Googled bracket for the Copa America tournament and didn't see England there, but knew they were still active. And then I realized, oh no. Oh, this was never going to happen. I was never going to get my matchup against Gavin.
It was amazing that Canada was, who you said had just scored a goal in the tournament for the first time, playing
Yes.
against the winners of the World Cup last year or the year before.
What if we had a Copa Euro friendly where you guys play against each other in FIFA?
That's what I've been saying. I've been trying to get that together.
I would do it. Are we playing or simming it?
Who have you been
Playing.
saying it to? Because this is the first time I'm hearing it, and it sounds like Gavin hasn't heard it either.
No, I've been trying to get Gavin to do it for a week. I texted Gavin and Nick. Nick can back me up on this.
Yeah.
I said, when are we doing it? And you said, we're not doing it yet.
Yeah, well,
I
no,
changed
because
up on it, didn't I?
no. Here, let's go to let's circle back on this.
When you just called him on that and he said, yeah, no, well, that's awesome.
No. No, shut the fuck up, Eric. You have nothing to do with this. Let me go.
Whoa.
You fucking idiot, Eric. Let me go full Nick or whatever Nick said.
Eric said like 3 words this whole podcast.
I just repeated what you said, Andrew.
Yeah, but you tried to make a point of this is a whole. We're gonna get into a whole lot of garbage here.
Oh, goodness.
I texted. I was in a group text with you, Nick, and Gavin trying to get this done. Gavin never replied. True or false?
He did not reply.
He never replied. He didn't acknowledge. Didn't reply.
On
It was
text?
on the schedule.
Yeah.
Yes, on text.
I can't text you. I have no signal. I don't know what to do about it. I have to I have to go upstairs and hold my phone above my head because it doesn't use the internet. It uses freaking cellular. I can't slack me, you idiot. We all work together.
We've been texting for years. For
It doesn't
4
work.
years.
I walk away from I come back to my phone and something I sent an hour ago hasn't. I don't have as many freaking red exclamation marks as I do with anyone else as I do with you.
Okay, that's fair. I'll slack you from now going forward. I want to get a group text going. Nick replied. You didn't reply. Understandable that you weren't able to see it. I'm just saying I tried. That's what I wanted to clear up.
What makes you switch out of Slack into texting? What's like, even though you're still talking about work?
Yeah, I swapped to text because I didn't feel like making a group chat in Slack. And it was a weekend, so I wanted to reach you.
Just don't know how
Hey,
any of those qualifiers.
Can you settle something for me, Andrew? Do you have
Yeah, of
Slack
course.
on your phone?
Yeah, I do. Of
Okay.
course.
Okay.
Wait,
Why wouldn't I? What do you mean?
So
It's on the Umi Digi?
we need to
It's on the Bison, yeah.
talk about what happened in the general chat.
What the fuck?
Huh?
In the general chat?
Oh, the messages?
Let me put a screenshot in.
That's right.
Screenshot going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, so there were a bunch of
Oh.
messages. My mom was over, decided to do some cleaning that I wasn't aware of. And I wasn't paying attention to my phone. And then like an hour later I looked and Eric thought I got hacked because My mom decided to clean my desk area, which included wiping down my keyboard. And
I love that I like you can see where she started. She did the number row and then she did QWERTY and she was doing it row by row. And then she starts again. She gave it all a second pass.
Oh, that's a really good point.
I was very confused. I was very worried when I saw "Were you hacked?" because that was all the only context I had for what had happened. And then I figured it out.
My point is that we were all slacking in there, talking, like asking you if you're all right, what's going on. At one point, I thought you were falling down the longest flight of stairs in the world. And then you text us saying we let you know what was happening. And you text us saying, where am I typing that? So you were on your phone, I guess, ignoring all the Slack, but replying to all the text.
I didn't have the alerts. I didn't have Slack alerts for that. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't see it. If I would have had the alerts, I would have known where I was typing. I didn't just ignore the alerts. I'm saying I didn't have there was no notification for any of your messages. The only thing I had was Eric saying, "Were you hacked?" And maybe it was there, Gavin, but if you have a text that says, "Andrew, were you hacked?" everything else becomes less of a priority. You're immediately going there for more info. I'm not being like, "Oh, Eric thinks I'm hacked, whatever. Let me see what else is going on. Let's browse a little bit." I immediately responded to the source of my hacking.
He's got you there.
Isn't it weird that you don't have alerts on for our Slack, though?
No, I do have alerts. I think as I was talking through that, I think that realistically is more what happened, where I saw "Were you hacked?" and immediately just followed that thread in a panic, as opposed to just looking because I didn't know.
So you do or you don't have alerts?
Of course I have alerts. The only time I don't get alerts is
You
when
can't say,
it's...
of course, any time.
Didn't he just say that he didn't have alerts? I feel crazy.
I didn't have alerts in a permanent sense. I thought I didn't have alerts on my phone. Like the Umi Digi maybe didn't push those alerts to it, but it probably did. I just wasn't aware of that because I saw "Were you hacked?" and immediately went into panic mode to try to figure out what you were talking about.
Well, either way, it's good to know that you have Slack open on an unlocked computer without a screensaver.
Well, it's my computer. What?
Are you afraid people are going to find out of all of our secrets? Unofficial farts and cool images?
Some of those farts are just for us.
Let me circle. I got some beef with Gavin in this Slack situation. We got some Slack issues. You're riled me. I'm riled up now about this. I was riled up yesterday. I took strays. I don't think I've ever been more right about anything. We have a Monday meeting. We get together once a week on Monday, and it is at, what time is it? 8:30 a.m.
10:30 for us.
10:30 for you. Okay. First week, and I'm vocalizing this. I'm not saying this is anyone's fault but mine. First week, couldn't sleep. Mind was racing. I decided that I would be better off, like, because I tried. I just laid in bed. I closed my eyes for hours. Nothing was happening. I decided, hey, I'm just going to stay up the rest of the night, knock out this meeting, and then I'll be so tired, I'll have to sleep. I'll get a few hours, and I can go about my day.
So wait, what time is it when you decide this?
Probably 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., I'd say. And I'd been trying to sleep from like 1 to 4 at that point. And I'd given up by 5. Give up by 5. 7 a.m., hour before the meeting, Eric posts, I think it was Eric. I don't remember. I shouldn't call it Eric because I don't remember the specific. Somebody said, no, it was you, Gavin. You said, let's reschedule the meeting. I have a thing on at that time. And it was a thing that existed prior to that. And I went, I'm fucked. I stayed up all night. I didn't blame you for that. It was more just like, oh, that's an annoyance. That also is information you knew. We could have, if that was just vocalized the day prior, we could have just completely avoided this. Week 2, I don't remember what happens with this meeting, but something happens and we don't have it at the time. It has to be moved. Week 3, there's another rescheduling that is an hour before the meeting starts. But the problem is I don't have an alarm set until 8 because my partner works nights and I have my setup in our bedroom. So we both have to be up or I will wake them up just naturally. And so I said, can we move the meeting an hour? Because you're giving updates on the meeting is moved, but it's pointless to me because I don't wake up until an hour later. So now I'm just waking up to see that a meeting that would never had a chance of happening is not happening. How am I in the wrong on this? I've been getting shit on for this for like 4 days.
Well, it's the daytime.
It's 8 a.m. here, and my partner works nights.
Yeah.
So that means that they go to bed late, and then they sleep, ideally, through the first half of the day.
Technically, they probably go to bed early, I would think.
Yeah, sure. If we want to
But you're going to wake up. So you're saying it should be later, or we shouldn't move it?
I'm saying I'm saying that I wanted it moved an hour because you don't give updates on your schedule until an hour before it happens, at which point it's irrelevant to me because I'm sleeping and I'm going to wake up in an hour to see that I didn't need to wake up at all. That was my point.
But you do have to wake up anyway that day.
I do, but not at that time. I'm waking up earlier than I normally would to make this meeting. And by the time I see the alert, it's pointless because I can't in my sleep register that you can't do it and that we have to move it. So an hour I could do.
So now you've permanently moved it to 11:30 our time.
Yes, exactly. And I'm happy.
And that way, if we change it like an hour before, you'll already be up.
I will be up. I will have seen it will not have impacted the schedule in a way that it currently does.
What if you oversleep?
I have an alarm.
Great question, Geoff. Andrew?
I've several alarms.
I thought you
I've
could
only
use the
one
alarms.
time almost slept through an alarm.
Do you not think it's better to have a meeting earlier so it's not in the middle of the day for 4/5 of us?
So I am getting penalized for living on the West Coast?
Yeah, so he should suffer.
All I do, this is very American of you, Gavin. I'm adjusting for everything. I'm always, you guys, 10 a.m. show up, 8 a.m. for me. Every time.
I'm gonna jump out in defense of Andrew here and just say that I do think he's pretty accommodating considering most of what we do is probably inconvenient for him.
I do agree. I'm actually on your side. And I often don't look at my calendar until Monday, which is my fault. I think what happened the time I did it, I had a doctor appointment at the time of our meeting that was probably booked like 3 months earlier.
Yes,
So
totally fair.
I just was like, oh shit, that's this week. And I was like, sorry, I have to move it.
Yeah, totally. And that's fine. But it was just like, I agreed to this meeting to try to be accommodating to y'all. And then the meeting kept getting moved. And it was like, why are we doing this? Let's move this meeting.
Yeah, I don't. You should have just said that in the beginning.
That's all I was going to say. I was just waiting for you guys to finish so I could say, why didn't you say any of this when we picked the first time?
Yeah, if you have
Like,
to
I don't
wake
care
up
to
much
do it.
earlier on one day,
Yeah.
you should have been like, I'm not up by then.
Yeah, just go like, hey, honestly, can we do it at 1 your time? That would put me in a good position. I don't care.
Yeah, at the time, I think I agreed to it because it seemed like that's when the meeting was wanted to have taken place. I said that horribly, but there was a sense. There was a sense that is when y'all wanted the meeting, and I was like, I'll do this for 1 week and see how it goes, and then if it's not ideal, then I'll move it. But then the meeting just kept getting moved, and then it became just an annoyance of, this is ridiculous. Why is this here?
Turns out it wasn't convenient for any of us.
None of us wanted this time in reality, and I tried to vocalize this point. And I did it horribly because I was up the entire night last time we had the meeting because I almost missed the last meeting. And I've been taking strays. I've been taking strays since that thing. And it is the most right I think I've ever been about anything. And I'm like, I will get shit on for so many things. I am in the right here. I know this isn't crazy.
I'll give you that. But my thinking is, why would you decide at 5 that you're not going to go to sleep? Like, surely, even if you slept between 7 and 8, sleep is sleep.
Totally. Absolutely valid. There is a time period, and I've crossed that line where I was younger, where I'd be like, it'd be worse to get sleep. Like, I'll be more tired. And now if I get any sleep at all, that's a win. I just was incapable of it that night. I could not shut my brain off. I was fully awake. And I was
You're
like,
really excited for this meeting.
I was so pumped to hear what was going to happen at this meeting to set a schedule. And that has been that. But now the meeting's moved, and we'll see how it goes. We have a clean meeting next week.
Hey, speaking of meetings, this is kind of an aside, but Eric, you and I had a meeting with a mutual friend yesterday that I've been thinking about since our meeting. I want to see what you guys think about this. I don't want to out the friend because I'm not sure if they'd be comfortable with the world knowing that they're friends with Eric and I.
Okay.
I can get how that would be a detractor. But we were hanging out with this friend who has like a cool project that they work on that's like their job. And we were talking about like scheduling another meetup. And we were like, well, what about in the process? We were like, well, how are you handling your workload with the stuff that you're doing? And they said, well, I do it all on Mondays. I just get the whole thing done on Mondays. I bust my ass on Mondays and basically just get all of my work done on that day. And I was like, oh, that's pretty smart if you can do it. And they only have one project they're really working on right now. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then we were trying to figure out when to get together again. And Eric said, well, what about next Friday? And they said, I tend to try, I don't want to schedule stuff on Fridays because I want to start my weekend early. And we were like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. But then I was thinking about it in bed last night, and I was like, doesn't your weekend start on Tuesday? You only work one day a week.
Yeah, if you've slotted everything to be one day.
I think you're oversimplifying what they were saying, but I will say I agree with you. What the fuck are they thinking, baby?
I think at the end of this story, I know who that is now.
Fucking start my weekend early. You do. You work one day a week.
It is an insane thing to say in the context. And I'm sure the way that I felt taking unnecessary strays for what I said, if this person's probably irate if they hear this, being like, this is completely mischaracterized. But based on what you said, yeah, that's ridiculous. That is an insane.
Eric's right. I'm sure I'm oversimplifying it a little bit, but the nuts and bolts of it are essentially correct, what I've said.
Yeah. So
the
anyway, so when do we want to get together again? I can't do Monday. Okay, how about Friday? Nah, I can't do Friday. All right, cool. What do you want?
Just say I don't want to get together again.
Well, I mean, is it like a friendly? Is it a friendly hangout or is it work related meeting?
No, it's friendly. It's kind of like what we do with Nick and Jason.
Right, but that wouldn't overtake the weekend. Even if your weekend had started and it's a friendly hangout, then that's still the weekend.
I think we agree. I think we agree with you, Gavin. I think we're a bunch. I think we're five guys in a Discord call agreeing with each other. Right?
I think it sounds like three people where two of them are hanging out and one of them is at work.
Okay, now that sounds like an accurate assessment of exactly what this relationship is to a T. You have no idea how right you are.
Man, you just hit the nail on the fucking head. That might be the perfect distillation of that relationship. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
I would hate that. Even if we could do that, I would hate that because that means that we're only spending one day a week doing stuff. Like
my God, it's terrible. You guys are the only people on earth I want to spend time with, and I just want to be around you all the time, with the exception of my wife and dog and daughter. But you know what I mean? I just want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get annoyed if it's like 9 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I should text the guys and see if they want to film something. I'm like, no, you can't. Don't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Just because you're awake and ready to film doesn't mean they are.
You just had your first week away, as we mentioned earlier, and I was so excited to text you. Yeah, about it, because when I missed one day of gameplay recordings, I saw you guys in the Discord thing. I was like, oh man, my friends are having fun. I wish I was there. Like, it was such a, like, I was the sick kid and I was looking out my window and I was seeing all the neighborhood kids play soccer or whatever, and just be like, oh, I could be part of that. I'm missing that. That sucks.
Very secret garden.
Yes.
It was brutal, especially because I didn't know ahead of time you were going to do this, but you guys decided to play GTA heists, not like player created heists like we used to do back in the day with Achievement Hunter, but the Rockstar created heists, which Achievement Hunter also did. The irony there for me is that when Achievement Hunter went through and did all of those heists, I think there's like 4 of them or maybe 5 of them, and they're like multi-part, they take a while.
Yeah.
I was out of town or something. when they started it. And so I missed the boat. They already had their team set and they were going. And so I just never played or got to participate in any of that. I think I may have gotten to participate in one of the videos, like half of one of the videos.
I just assumed that you had done all of them.
No,
so that is
so
why.
I've never touched them. And so y'all starting it last week when I went out of town was such a wonderful, nostalgic moment where I just
so
thought,
funny.
I just want to drown myself in a bathtub. I'm never going to play these fucking games. Thank you so much. I'm so glad history does in fact repeat itself. I'm going to go kill myself now.
I got more fake, not real beef, but annoyed with Gavin beef from that experience.
From doing the heists?
Yeah. I've never beaten the Humane Labs raid heist. And I was so
Same.
excited that now we're going to finally beat this heist that I've never finished. I've gotten to the last part of it every time. And then for whatever reason, the group I'm part of decides to just not follow through with it. And I was all excited to continue going. Gavin doesn't want to film the heist for a little bit. He wants to take a break from filming any more heist stuff. And I went,
Well-
you son of a bitch. You motherfucker. I'm the Humane
We
Labs
can
again.
do it. We're just 3 videos ahead, and no one's even started editing the first one. We're going to be...
I'd
I
love
feel
to
like there's
just get
stuff
in
that's
the
going to come
bag,
out
though.
sooner
Right.
that we should make.
No, I absolutely agree with you, Gavin. You're 100% right. I don't
No,
care,
it's-
and I want to play Grand Theft Auto.
What if you guys just deleted those 3 videos and never played it again?
Why don't we just finish it and then we have it and then it'll come out eventually. And then
Here's
we're
what
done.
we should do.
Mm-hmm.
I've already done all these. I should swap out with Geoff and watch.
We can't do that
No.
halfway through
Right,
the
you guys have a
heist.
cruise set. You can't do
It's a
that.
terrible idea.
No,
we
I just have
we
to.
can't
I
switch
just
out.
have
We're
to.
halfway through a heist.
I just
right
have
now.
to miss out on this one. Just and you know, when we start a new company in 10 years, I'll miss out on it then too.
Okay, what if we wrap up this heist, which is the second one, or the third one, I guess, because we skipped the first one, and then Geoff comes in for the rest.
That's. I mean,
Who
that's
am I
not up to
replacing?
you.
Who
Me.
am I replacing? No, you guys have a thing set.
No. Here's the thing. The problem with that is you need to be here, Gavin, because you have become the absolute worst influence on Nick. And it is
What
so
the fuck, dude?
fascinating
How?
to see
is
Nick
insane.
unravel.
I've learned that there are new and improved ways to fail those heists that I didn't think were even possible.
And it has bled into other facets of our work. You have turned Nick into a chaotic, unpredictable mess. It was started in GTA. It bled into what we did our last Twitch stream. Eric was like, I want to tell Gavin this story about speed. And then Nick was like, well, let me sync us up for the stream. And then it was like, okay, we'll do that. And then as soon as we synced, Nick just went, okay, we're live. Like nobody. And we were like 3 minutes early. And so then Eric just had to talk about speed for 3 minutes. Nick is unpredictable right now in a way that is so uncharacteristic of how I've known Nick for like the past 4 years. And it's great.
You know what, Andrew? I'm glad you brought this up, and I feel like maybe it's time to finally talk about something that I have been keeping secret for a long time. This is what we call the Gavin effect, and the most clear example of it, I think I can give to you all is not a part of this podcast, but certainly podcast adjacent, I guess, in some roles. You guys remember Michael Jones used to work at Achievement Hunter with us? He does
Yes.
the food podcast with us. A completely
Familiar with him, yeah.
different human being before I introduced him to Gavin.
Oh,
Just
that's
like
funny.
calm, respectful, quiet. Did like to do crossword puzzles a lot. Was
I don't
like
buy any of that.
kind of like a deep thinker. Real mousy, nerdy guy. And then I introduced him to Gavin, and like 3 weeks later, he turned into Jersey Trash. And I don't know where it came from, but like it's this thing that Gavin has on some people. And what I'm saying is, Nick is going to get worse.
Uh-oh.
I believe that. I believe the Nick's gonna get worse part. But I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Even if I sit out and Geoff fills my slot, I can still be in the recording and I can still watch Nick's feed and I can still have the same effect.
I don't know
I
if that's
don't.
good
I
for my
don't
mental
like
health.
it. You're like a siren.
yeah,
it's
that's what I was
the
calling
worst. He
British
just
siren.
He just steers the fucking ship towards the rocks because you whisper in his fucking ear. Like, it's the worst.
I don't want to spoil a video, but we were in the midst of something, and Gavin made an insane declaration, and we were so like things were so okay that I wasn't even looking at my screen anymore. I was in a food app getting ready to order myself lunch because we were good to go. And Gavin yelled something, and I went, "Do I have to look up and shut down what's happening?" No, it's fine. We're all good. And then we were not all good. We were very much not all good. And it's just been insane. Nick has been a crazy person in a great way. Completely unpredictable.
The Nick flowering, as it were.
Yeah.
I'm helping.
Oh man.
He just keeps saying, "I'm helping." It's
I'm
the worst.
Speaking of video games, y'all know how I've been soda streaming for a while?
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
How much I fucking love soda streaming. I got really into streaming. Yesterday, I started doing the other one, Twitch streaming.
How did that go?
Oh, yeah. It's
Good.
exciting.
Good. Eric came over and he helped me set up my Twitch account. Fake Geoff is my name, which I think I must have made when we were doing like GTA and Achievement Hunter or
Okay.
something, back when we had the fake age crew. And I did my first ever stream. I streamed for an hour yesterday to 2 people.
Why don't you just stream on our podcast account? Why are you using your own mini account?
Just to have it built up so that if we ever have to do like multiple streams, or like if we Gavin and I did that stream with some of the old Achievement Hunter guys and I wasn't able to stream it, I just played, and I'd like to have a presence that's not necessarily our main account. I just figured it'd be helpful with flexibility.
He's he's a contingency for when this falls apart. At least he has his Twitch channel.
Got it.
Yeah, there's that too. And Gavin's been working on his getting his Twitch streaming stuff up in the background too. I just figured we might as well all have it. If everybody, it feels weird to be like the one who doesn't have it.
I'm gonna burn mine down though. I'm not.
You're having trouble with yours, huh?
What's the problem?
I got too many camera feeds. I'm trying to do it from a pinball machine, which isn't smart to begin with. I need like 3 cameras, and for some reason, every Elgato piece of hardware I have works 50% of the time. I want to smash all of it into tiny little pieces.
Is there a better solution than Elgato you could use?
Yeah, Black Magic.
Black Magic, yeah,
Yeah.
like actual professional shit.
Yeah.
It's just like much more expensive.
Yeah, real shit for actual people. Yeah, that kind of thing.
You got to spend money to make
Real
pinball
shit
money.
for actual people is such a
Yeah.
funny tagline for a company.
But like, I just can't. There's nothing worse than when you're trying to do the fun thing and you're like, I'm excited about this new project that I'm going to do, and I have all the things
Yes.
that I need, and you start
Yeah.
doing it, and you go, none of this works, and I'm in a hell of my own making.
I just can't figure out. And OBS is a freaking piece of shit. Probably not. And I just don't know how to use it. But why is it that if I like lose a feed of one of my cameras and it just starts shitting out green, do I have to go into the properties, pick what it is, select something different, and then select the thing again? Why isn't there just like a refresh device button?
I think there's a deactivate and an activate.
Okay.
Ooh.
What is that?
I'm just saying. I think
Are
that's
you
what
talking
it
about
is.
like the little eyeball?
Well, there's that, but I think you can double click on it, and there's an activate deactivate thing in the middle there that like turns it off as a source and then turns it back on.
Okay. I'm slightly less annoyed.
Well, I mean, but that might not even be the right thing. You might, because it's Elgato, you might really have to switch off from it and come back.
Is you trying to do the pinball thing related to what I talked to you about?
No.
Oh, just completely unrelated.
That's
Okay.
a different pinball thing.
That's a different pinball. I thought you were. I'm trying to get Gavin to challenge me in a pinball score off, and I thought that you were going to use your physical cabinet while I did the virtual one. Was what you were doing. That's a hilarious.
I
Complete.
mean, if you can get the virtual version of my physical one.
I have a virtual version of one of your physical ones. I've been playing it a decent amount.
That's an
What?
interesting challenge.
Wait, you have a virtual version of a real pinball machine that Gavin has?
Yes,
Wow.
the Champions Ball or whatever. What's the bar one?
Champion Pub.
Champion Pub. Yeah, it's a great.
That's not
I
the
love
one
that.
I've plugged in.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying I have one of the 4.
Is this something Gavin, are you interested in participating in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
He's
you
a
have-
pinball guy.
You have Champion Pub, the one where you have to shoot the ball at the guy and like the little punching
Yeah.
bag and the jump
Yep.
rope and stuff? You have
Yeah,
that?
Like the punch bag, and then it spins around. It's a
Oh.
bloke, and you could hit him in the face.
That's like the coolest. That's
It's
like the
really
coolest
cool.
pinball machine. You have like the coolest pinball machine.
Yeah, if you enjoy the pinball slamming into the glass and scaring the shit out of you, then that's the one to get.
Gavin, do you think he could beat you, or do you think you could beat him? How confident are you?
I'm not much of a pinball. I think Gavin has the edge when we start.
Gavin's a big pinball guy. Real quiet about it, but real big into it.
Yeah, it's like a little secret background hobby. I'm into it.
Not so secret now.
No.
Not as an episode 10 of this podcast. Oh man, I kind of want to put money on this.
I wanted it to be like the Halo 2 race we did where I was streaming, like we'd go back and forth and I would stream this virtual pinball game that I've been playing.
I would probably just have to play the virtual one though to keep it fair.
I mean, whatever works.
There's a whole other kind of element to this that's like, is there a difference between the virtual and the analog version?
Well, I mean, the ability to slam it around and tilt and, nudge the ball around is probably easier on a real one.
Yeah.
There's a tilt button on
You
my
have that
virtual
button
one.
on the virtual one, though, I guarantee you.
Yeah,
Does it have
I
like
do.
directional
Yeah, left or
nudging?
right tilt.
up and down?
Not up and down, but left and right.
But if it doesn't, I mean, that would give you the advantage on the real one. But for some reason, to me, I feel like the virtual version would be easier to get a high score on.
What's cool about the virtual version is you can toggle between what the actual table board is like and what the like video game version of it is. So like if you do the actual version, it's just like that guy standing there taking hits. But like the video game one, he's swinging his fists when he's hitting, and like there's just some additional graphics to it.
Well, he
Add
swings
some
his fist
motion.
in the real one.
Oh, does he? Okay, well, it's just
Yeah.
like I think the range of motion is more. There's like a video gameized version of the board, and then what the real board kind of works as.
Interesting.
I'm really excited about it. I've been playing a lot of Snoopy pinballs while I said that to Eric. Like I'm all into pinball right now. Virtual pinball. Haven't been in a long time into it, but having a blast.
Did you ever play Sonic Spinball?
No, I don't think so. I played the Pokemon pinball.
God, I hate that game.
Sonic Spinball?
Sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Are you not a pinball guy, Eric?
No. If it's free play, I like pinball, but if I have to pay for it, I hate it. Also, I owned Sonic Spinball when I was a kid. And I fuck it. Oh, miserable. What a miserable game.
I've been playing another Geoff favorite. I got my toes. I dipped my toes into Call of the Wild Angler.
Oh, you been fishing?
A little bit. I fished one night. To say I've been fishing is maybe a little bit of a stretch. And I had fun. It's a fun game. It does the annoying thing where you have to make an account when you load in. Hate that.
I hate
in
that
any
shit
game.
so much. Yeah, it's so useless.
I had such an unexpected laugh from it where you have to catch your first fish, and they like every time you catch fish, you celebrate. And I caught the tiniest piece of shit fish, just a little baby fish. And I'm just, look at my fish. Look how happy I am with my fish. Got this tiny little fish, showing it off. It's like an inch long.
Yeah,
There's
you're pretty
nothing
jazzed.
impressive about this fish. We're just like, hey, look at this. Look what I did.
Hey
Big
man, humble
fisherman.
beginnings. You keep at it, and you'll catch a goldfish someday, and not a goldfish,
Yeah.
but a gold level fish, and it'll be huge.
I like
I,
it. It's the fish is so small, his thumb is like smothering it.
Yeah, its thumb is harder.
Is that what your beard looks like?
It's like, yeah, it's kind of close to it. I think that's a good comparable.
0.04 kilograms. I have no idea how much that weighs.
It was small.
Could someone with Photoshop put that beard on the picture of Andrew?
I'll give a thumbs up if it's close or not to the current beard situation, if that gets done. But I caught my fish, and then I walked into the water by accident, and it crashed the game. And that was my time to Call of the Wild Angler. But I'm excited to get back into it.
Yeah, it's a real peaceful game. It's also fun driving. You just get in an SUV and just drive around. It's
Oh,
pretty
it's
forgiving
one of those?
with the driving
That's great.
physics. Yeah.
The hell's a bloodworm? Is that a real thing?
It's like blood sausage, but it's a worm.
Yeah. Which is really all a sausage is, right? A big worm.
Yeah, it's exactly. I realized my weird fear. I'm happy.
For the fear diagram?
Yeah, I got one. I didn't consider this a fear, but I was like, it kind of aligns with Gavin's wet bread. I hate paper cups. Not a fan of paper cup. These things. I'll send a photo right now. You know those
I know my
triangle
fear.
Oh.
Paper.
you know those triangle paper cups?
Yeah.
The thought
Cone.
of the texture on my lips
Yes.
gives me goosebumps.
It gives you chills, right? It makes
chills me all
Yep.
over.
Yep, I have
And
that too.
It makes me so uncomfortable.
Yep.
Scratching of cardboard, same thing, but it's largely like paper texture. Don't like it at all. Ugh.
That's a
Weird.
fear I don't have.
A
don't
wet
have
hand, a wet hand touching paper is like that. And then I look. This, the thought of like biting on paper or getting it stuck to my lips.
Eric.
Yeah, it makes
my
me
God.
feel so bad
I'm
on the inside.
I'm
It like
bumpy.
physically pains me. Yeah.
So
I'm all
that sounds
bumpy.
similar to someone I know who has they can't touch like a wooden spoon. It's like too grippy if they drag their finger on it. Do you have that?
What?
Like the way, like you know, like wood that's kind of grippy. If you like
Yeah.
pull your finger across a wooden spoon, it like grips and releases.
Nah,
Can
it
you do
doesn't.
that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
doesn't
like
bother me.
popsicle sticks though. Not a fan of those. Ugh.
See, that's
But
similar.
paper
It's a
is
similar
way
texture.
worse. Way worse with paper. I'm like a golf ball. Like I have dimples right now. Like I'm just all goosebumps all over. Ugh. Not a fan. So that is my fear. But I'm not like I didn't consider that because it's not like I'm avoiding paper cups. It just triggers something in me that is unexplainable and makes me feel very uncomfortable. Which I think falls in the spirit of our fear diagram.
If we have a fear diagram, Andrew, and we overlap, our overlap is just this.
This is the paper, yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with getting my blood pressure taken. This is such a I hate this feeling.
Your fear diagram is a straight line.
When did people decide that was an acceptable cup as well? Like, what was
Yeah,
wrong
terrible.
with just stacking normal cups?
Jeff, do you think it was like the 50s? I think it's people who are working on cars in the 50s.
Yeah, it was like they used to be waxy too. Sometimes you can get them waxy and they last a little bit longer, but they're like single use. They're dog shit. They always crease in the middle. I haven't seen them in a while. Usually, if you do see them, it's only at like a mechanic shop or a car wash.
Yeah, it's like let's invent a cup that you can't put down.
Yeah, you definitely can't put it down anywhere.
I remember making this realization when I was in a bank as a child. That was where they had like the little water thing and those. It was an attachment to the machine. And just trying to drink water out of that cup and just being like, this is fucking weird. I don't like this. Yeah.
When are we doing our throat goat?
We need to. I forgot that was a thing and just
We've all got
remembered
to
and
spit our mouthful into a Pyrex, and then
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna put those lines, the amounts on a Gerpler, the throat.
I
one.
am so excited to get that phone you sent me, Gavin, so I could send you a scan of my head. I want that so badly.
Yeah, have you not got the phone yet?
Not yet. No, still waiting on the package.
Yeah, it was supposed to arrive last Wednesday.
I think we're still
FYI.
waiting on Andrew to get a puzzle too, right?
I'm also waiting on the puzzle. Yes.
Like I thought it was delivered, but it was the wrong order that everyone else's got delivered. Yours hasn't yet.
I
Fucking
think the
crazy.
person Andrew is using on Vancouver Island to forward his stuff
Yep.
to where he actually lives and won't tell us. I think that person's dropping the ball.
Well, I think that they moved into an old age home.
Do you think Andrew even lives in Canada? What if he lives in like Pflugerville?
Crazy.
I bet that's the holdup. It takes a long time to ship a package to Canada and then back to where it came from.
Yeah, this
What a
country's
bit.
iffy on like re-importing.
Oh man,
Oh,
that'd be
man.
you would be so mad if I was doing that. If I was making you all ship something
Yeah,
to Canada for the
yes.
annoyance
What?
of
And
it.
pretending
Yes.
that you were on Pacific time the whole time.
I'm actually on the East Coast. I'm an hour ahead.
You just want to wake up at noon.
I have an idea on how to grow our podcast organically. I wanted to pitch you guys real fast before we end, if you guys are okay with it.
Of course. I hate that my brain imagined the podcast as a seed in a pot. Okay.
I posted a photo.
Geoff just posted a photo of Michael J. Fox, an autographed image.
And it says, try the shakes. It's hanging in a restaurant somewhere. I recently was in Toledo, Ohio, and I ate at a place called fucking Tony Paco's, I think. It was like a hot dog restaurant, like a Polish hot dog restaurant, or Hungarian, I think. But they're on the map because they maintain the world's largest collection of celebrity autographed hot dog buns. Speaking of which, by the way, guess who I saw there? Fucking Kevin Costner. I took a picture. I'll load it up right now.
Oh, Horizon Go get
Horizon-
your tickets. They're plenty
Yeah.
available.
That you know what there are plenty available for you if you want to
So
see it,
many.
whatever time you want to go. Anyway, and while I was there, I was just looking around. You know, I got up 3 different times to look at the hot dog buns and go like, oh look, there's a celebrity. Oh, that's cool. And then I realized everybody around me was doing it. Everybody is going there and looking at the hot dog buns and looking at the celebrities, right? So that got me thinking, what if we had a photo made, like a black and white, like 90s comedy, like store photo of the 5 of us together, and then we could give them out to every restaurant in America. We could just start mailing them to restaurants with like nice phrases on it, like try the shakes or like can't beat their burger, right? And they could be available upon request. We could even give them to audience members if they wanted to then take them and deliver them to restaurants. And we could see 2 things. One, we could see if we could grow organically by being in, by the way, once you get in a restaurant, you're there forever. That thing's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter if you die or get canceled or anything. Once they hang a photo up in a restaurant, it's never coming down. And then 2, maybe we could break some kind of a record to be like the celebrity, not that we're celebrities, but the podcast or the group
definitely not.
with the most photos hanging in restaurants around the world.
Do you think it's like the Hollywood Walk of Fame where they're charging these celebrities for their hot dog buns to maintain the space? You have to pay a secret fee.
Dude, I wish I did, but I don't think so.
I mean, they'll probably charge us, but that's fine.
Oh, 100% we're getting charged for that. We do not based on merit or there's no reason for us to be on this wall outside of we paid for a spot.
These are all the different ones I took while I was there. Hall & Oates, Billy
Oh, man,
Joel.
they're going to have to cut that one in half.
Willard Scott. I don't know why I took a picture of Adrian Cronauer. I think it was to show Emily's dad, maybe. And then Kevin Costner. I took a picture of anybody that I thought was associated with our podcast in any way.
So have they written on the actual bun?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
And then the bun's been resined?
I guess so, yeah.
You think Hall & Oates recover from their beef at the hot dog bun, being like, hey, remember the good times? And then they each put their
do.
hand on the bun and they're friends
Yeah,
again.
like your left bun, I'm right bun. Let's be bun together. Anyway, that's my idea, is that we get a celebrity, like a photo headshot type thing made, and then we just somehow put it in the hands of every restaurant in the world.
I think some would go up.
Guarantee some would go up. I guarantee you there are people listening to this podcast right now that work at restaurants that are like, send it to me, I'll put it up tomorrow.
If we finally franchise that melting pot, we can put one up there.
Oh, that's a great call. This is, I think, the most concerned I've been at the start of a Geoff idea to on board by the end I think I've ever been.
What was your original concern?
Oh, but I didn't. He posted a photo of Michael J. Fox that said "try the shakes" on it, and I was worried what direction we were going in. I thought we ran the possibility of it being a very tasteless joke, and I was very.
I didn't even make the connection.
Are you serious?
My brain immediately went there, and I went, "What are we doing?"
I was immediately laughing at that because it's in different pen, like someone else wrote it on.
No, I literally just Googled. Here, I'll show you. Oh my God.
I was so Geoff. I was terrified
terrible.
of like, what are you doing?
I'm horrified now because that sounds terrible. No.
That's
Look here.
insane.
And then it became clear that that is not at all what you were trying to reference.
look at my.
And I was like,
my
okay,
Google
we're
image
good.
search.
But Jesus,
It's the first one.
I searched for celebrity autograph photo diner.
That's
and
so funny.
Michael J. Fox is the very first one.
Oh,
I just
man.
grabbed it because it was first. I had nothing to do
Jeff,
with
I didn't make the connection either. I didn't. It didn't
You
even.
guys are
The
crazy.
joke didn't occur to me at
instantly
all.
looked at it and went, "What are we doing?"
No, I had no idea. It must be generational or something because Eric and I didn't get there. Oh, but you can see from my Google search. If you
enjoy
search
me putting the same
celebrity
generation, Eric?
autograph photo diner, that's the photo.
Oh, dear.
Oh man,
Damn, man.
I'm so glad that was like a wholesome. Like, yeah, that's a fun. Let's send
So
diners
couldn't-
buns.
Couldn't be more wholesome. I don't want to send buns, just
Oh,
autograph
man.
photos. Couldn't be more wholesome. Nothing biodegradable.
Love it. That was a good app.
Good app.
God, I almost canceled myself in the last 5 minutes.
I was like, what are we? Oh boy. I'm worried about this direction. And then all good. That was fun. Let's wrap this up and then record something else.
We're recording a special video after this, right?
Well, should we say
I
what it
think
is?
so.
Yeah. Why wouldn't we? I think we're recording our first sausage talk.
First
for,
regulation sausage talk with
regulation
questions submitted by members of the Falcon tier of our Patreon.
Hell yeah.
I'd record another episode if we could. I'm having fun.
Yeah, you said you're a 2-a-day guy this morning, and then you disappeared.
No, I was just saying that.
You
There
went back
is
to
a-
sleep.
No, I didn't. I was awake the whole time. I said my statement. I didn't want to start a fight. I was a little gun shy after the ricochets from the last thing I said.
But what? Were you saying that because we're recording 2 today?
No, I was saying that because there is a level of fear going into these recordings that is like, oh man, I really hope it's good. I'm really excited, but like, I hope I deliver. And
Yeah.
when we do 2, we just deal with that all in one day. And I don't like that I'm now going to have to do this again tomorrow.
Like getting all your work done on a Monday sort of feeling?
Yeah. Well, it's not even getting all my work done. It's the work that I find I'm most nervous about. And like, I really want this to be good. And like, I feel like I need to be on my game for, and to stretch it out over 2 days. I think I prefer, because I feel like I could do 6 right now.
Do you not feel like you have the same feeling about video game content we make?
Not at all. No.
Oh, okay. Because like the video game does a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the video game is
Totally
like, it
different
opens. I don't have to prep in the same way for it. Like things will emerge from that I can just react to. Where this is like, I need to take notes and make sure I have my images, and
You can sit down at just about any video game situation completely blind and eke out a video pretty easily, but this podcast is a whole different animal for me, at least.
I completely agree. I've got so many notes. I'm excited for the next one. I got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well,
I have a
let's get to
game.
it.
Let's wrap up.
Do you have a game?
I have a game for us to play.
Oh, shit.
Oh, god damn. Oh, definitely
That's great.
a game. All right, well, somebody end it.
Bye.
Oh, this whole show I've been trying to figure out what this note means, and it's my game. I just wrote it horribly, but I've been quietly looking at it like bog roll folders, going, "What is this? What does this mean?"
You'll find
My
out
game.
what it means next week on the Regulation Podcast's 11th episode, tentatively titled, This Is What This Means.
Thanks so
also,
much for
go
listening.
to, thanks for listening. Go to fucking stupid. God damn it, Gavin. Go to, you have to say it. You say it.
Best domain I've ever registered in my life. Regulatreon.com
Or just, go there.
or
fuck it.
Patreon. You know,
Yeah, check out our
slash
Patreon. We
Regulation
got a lot
Pod.
more content.
Support us if you can. No worries if you can't. Love you.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.